Yeah, so I'm Aaron, and as I said, I'm an ecologist. And I went into science in order to study, but also in order to protect the natural world. I'd grown up in love with nature, and I really wanted to use my career and my skills to contribute to that. So I'd hoped that, through the careful collection of evidence and reasoned argument, we would be able to persuade our leaders to act to protect nature. And I had naively assumed that what was holding us back was a lack of knowledge, and that therefore what we needed was more information. I kind of assumed that there was a kind of deficit of information. But the more I read, and the more I studied, and the more I published, it became clear that this just isn't the case. We've had report after report since I was a child, warning of the decline in nature and the harms which follow for human society from that. It's not an information deficit that we face, it's a power deficit. The vested interests who gain from the nature trashing system that we have now do everything they can to keep things as they are. 10 years ago, the first State of Nature report starkly laid out the dire threats to UK wildlife. In the latest report, we see that things have continued to worsen, and now 1 in 6 species are threatened with extinction in the UK. This government has failed us miserably. There have been 8 ministers in DEFRA in the last 10 years, and they have all failed to turn things around. But we in the conservation sector aren't faultless here either. This is happening on our watch, and it is we who claim to be the guardians of the natural world. We have failed to mobilize the counterpower that is needed to confront these vested interests, destroying our world. What is it we're going to see in the next 10 years, right, if we carry on doing what we're doing? What we've done for the last 10 years clearly hasn't worked. One more report isn't going to change that. And without action, it's just one more obituary to nature. We've got to re-examine our own theories of change. The IPBES concluded that what we need is transformative change, and they define that as a fundamental system reorganization across technological, economic, and social factors, including paradigms, goals, and values. In short, what we need is system change. And system change is only ever brought about by social movements, building counterpower and challenging vested interests. So if we are to restore nature now, as we must, then in the next 10 years we're going to have to reverse the declines. We're going to have to build a mass movement and get hundreds of thousands of people out on the streets. Woo! Change is never easy, and it isn't a polite and a rational process as I'd hoped it was as a child. Stopping whaling meant boats going out and confronting whalers and millions of people marching. Winning national parks in this country meant organising mass trespasses, getting beaten up by gamekeepers, and going back again with relentless grassroots pressure. In 1970, on Earth Day, 1 in 10 Americans were out protesting in that country, and that won them the Environmental Protection Agency, the Clean Air Act, the Fresh Water Act, the Endangered Species Act. That was people that did that. So we're outside DEFRA today, recognizing that what is called for now is action, not words. So I hope that this is the key step towards a new emergence of a massive social movement, powerful enough to put nature first and to fight for nature. And that means, not just having cozy meetings with ministers, but actually challenging them, calling them out. So we'll look back on today, I hope, as the turning point which leads to the restoration of nature, on which we all depend. And we are here fighting for nature, so give yourself a round of applause. Thank you very much.